Who on earth is superseding my research? He says as he just puts his hands on his hips and pouts.
You could speak with Miss Greyhouse about it. She seems to be knowledgeable on the subject.
I suppose I'll have to pay her another visit sometime.
I don't
Do
know.
me a favor, though. If you see her again, see what else you can find out about this madness.
Oh, believe me, I have a vested interest in this as well.
And
It's
if
the
you
only lead I
can,
have.
he says as he approaches you,
Hmm.
if you see any more of that substance, bring it to me.
I'll keep that in mind.
Good. I don't have very much of it. And if I had the kind of quantities I'm seeing here just wasted, maybe I could actually get somewhere. You did good. Uh, Zechariah?
That's my
Yes,
name.
good. You won't have to study for the next test, by the way.
It's like I appreciate the thought, sir, but I prefer to earn my grades on my own.
Good. Spoken like a true man of thought. And he's willing to drive you to wherever you need to go next, unless you have
Probably
further questions to him.
nothing further at the moment. Feel like I've possibly made a potentially useful ally here. He'll probably go back to the dorms.
Okay.
Might
As he's
now.
getting into his car, and you seem to not be taking him up on it,
Hmm.
he'll actually muse for a moment and go, "You know, I don't know if anyone would ever have cared about Jasper's research," he says with a little bit of a shudder. "But if I recall right, he was being hounded by one of the fraternities. Zeta Alpha Phi, if you've heard about it. I'm fairly certain they wanted him."
Aren't they involved with that conservation society?
Hmm.
I don't see why they would be interested in what my brother was researching, but it might be worth investigating.
I don't know why either. I just know he complained about it once. Well, I'll see you in class. And he will drive off into the distance.
Zach will slowly make his way back to campus. He has now another avenue to explore.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like it's like, oh, he'll see if he can find this frat house. Just scope the area out a little bit.
okay. You can
Yeah.
kind of scope out the frat house, and it looks like it may have been someone's small little mansion before. It has several stories and looks like it could probably fit about 20 people inside.
Mm.
Right now, it looks like the lights are on, and there's maybe some sort of small party going on inside. You can hear
Mm.
just lights amount of noise and the sound of a phonograph playing out from a window.
Mm.
Sounds like jazz.
Zach is sort of pondering whether or not it's a good idea to approach. He's definitely not a member of the fraternity, and he's not much of a party goer either. So they might question as to why he's hanging around. Maybe best to come back later when there's a little bit less commotion.
All right. So you plan to stay away for the time being.
Yeah, don't
Very
want to
well.
call too much attention to himself quite yet.
All right. S- So let's go ahead and return to James Green for a moment. Uh James, you have arrived on the small pub at North Lake. And with the sun starting to set and people getting off of work, there's actually a sizable crowd here. And while the pub is dry now, it does still serve up meals to different people, and it looks like they've actually put in a soda bar. You could order up one of those fancy soft drinks, unlike the hard liquor that you people of this town have been used to.
Uh, yeah,
What do you do?
I scout the place, seeing if there's anything unusual or.
You mostly see people just sort of taking their meals and talking and generally having a nice, perfectly legal time, as far as you can tell. There is at least one person who has a who seems a little bit out of place, however. Most of the people here seem like they're working class and they have overalls and various states of dirt. But this person is wearing a suit. It looks like a little. It looks a little rough. It has wrinkles, but he's still wearing one. And he's off in the corner smoking.
I go over to him.
He looks you up and down and goes, "Can I help you?" He's a mouse, by the way.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Nice suit. What you in for?
What I'm in for is a nice, quiet little meal and no business.
The suit says otherwise.
Yeah, well, your mother said otherwise last night.
I leave.
And he goes ahead and takes another smoke from a cigarette.
To be honest, I'm not really sure what I was expecting.
What do you plan to do?
Think about my options.
Okay, so you kind of sit, think, and observe for now. So we'll go ahead and go to the woman in black. The night is high. It's time for the woman in black to ride. And ride out to North Lake Steel Mill.
Yes, and I'm going heavy. Not only am I riding black, I guess I'm going to call it Black Beauty. I can't think of a better name than that. Take the moped, take the gun, and most importantly, I'm going to take that stupid lilac acid gun.
Ooh, all right. Very interesting.
I might need it.
All right. So you end up outside of the steel mill. Let's see. Even from a short distance, you can see the faded red paint of the exterior flaking off and the exposed and neglected building underneath. It has a chain fence around the property, but it looks like someone has hastily strung wooden planks to it to block the view into the interior. The gate would appear to be unguarded, but closed. You can see out over the building there are 4 smokestacks, and one of them doesn't seem active, but it does look like it is still smoldering.
Yeah, they're keeping the fires burning. Yeah, this is suspicious as hell.
Right. Go ahead and give me a mind observation.
Okay. I'm supposed to be good at this, and I am not.
Yeah. Okay. With 2 successes, as you kind of like case around the place and try to get a feel for what's going down, you can definitely hear the sound of someone hiding just behind the gate, out of sight. You can hear the sound of idle coin flipping up into the air.
Okay. Can I sneak into the factory without encountering him?
You can. You can go wide around the side and come at an angle that should not be visible from the front.
I will do that.
Okay, go ahead and give me a speed evasion roll. As we go ahead and try to get into the building.
Apparently, I am good at this.
Hey, very nice. All right. As you sneak in, the concrete courtyard around the building is very barren, and weeds are growing up through the cracks in the pavement. There's a truck outside, and it looks very new. It's parked just outside the foundry that has the active smokestack, and it looks like at least 6 people are idle outside by the truck, suited up.
Okay. Not like the guys who were at the North building, right? Or what was it?
They look very similar, in fact. In fact,
Mhm.
it looks you actually recognize one of the faces of these mice.
Yeah, okay. I'll avoid them. I want to get to the actual. This used to be a steel mill, so there could be a foundry here where you could make, I don't know, statues or armor.
Exactly. And they are standing outside of just such a building. There are 3 others on the premises, but it doesn't look like anything is happening over at them.
Right. Well, I'll just go over the wall or whatever.
Okay, yeah. You're already over the wall. So you can try to get inside the foundry itself right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Let's see. So you've already rolled 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Let's see if anyone notices you when you get inside already. I'll go ahead and roll.
I could defeat ordinary guards, but don't know if I could defeat Osborne, and I don't think I'm any match for Mr. Wonderful.
All right. So you managed to get inside, and to the best of your notice, no one's raised an alarm about you being inside this building. Within, you can see that there's only about a handful of people, and they're mostly in overalls, actually. And they appear to be at work, or at least winding down from it.
Is there
You can see
molten?
two
Oh,
You
go
can
ahead.
also see 2 hooligan-looking boars standing watch over their work.
There's
Um,
no molten steel or ore here or anything?
there is in part of the longer description I have here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go over these details and try to match them to our time period. On one end, near the furnace, you can actually see metal melting, formed into large cast shapes that look like bodies as they turn cool. These cold shapes appear to be lowered into some sort of large tank, and when they surface, the steel that they've been made out of has been turned to gold. Or, as you might be more familiar with, it is now plated.
So they're dunking figures in the molten metal, and then they're coming out coated in metal?
No, they are pouring molten metal into cast and shaping it into the shape of these things.
Okay, and so since it's a mold, it and since it's a mold that actually rivets together, it could conceivably be hollow. Okay,
Correct. It
that's
looks like they actually have 2 separate pieces, a back and a front,
and
at the very
but
least.
it's in one piece. Is there another part of the assembly line that cuts them to be articulated?
Uh, yes, there is. It
Okay,
appears to happen after the plating phase of it,
so they're
so that they
making
dip it all into one piece and then pull it out.
this sounds like a stupid another Mr. Wonderful stupid joint that
It
he's
does. It is bizarre work. Uh,
yeah.
but it gets even more bizarre when you see out on a table nearby to them is uh is a body that is not moving. It appears to be some kind of ferret laying out on the table, tied down yet unmoving. He would appear to have some sort of thin 3-pronged helmet on his head, and it's connected by wires to some other location. The workers continue to move and take this cast and start to plate him up with it, riveting it onto him.
Okay.
Uh,
Um. So they make one suit and rivet it on the mystery ferret man who's tied down to the table.
yes. The
Weird.
even odder still is that you see that there appears to be some sort of metal backpack that they are also trying to attach to the back of this statue-looking armor that they are trying to bolt together around him.
I knew magnetism would be involved. It's the energy of the future.
Indeed. And you can see them taking some sort of vial that is full of an orange substance and pouring it into the backpack.
Oh, holy crap!
And as they finish it up, I assume you're watching and not interrupting, correct?
I'm watching all of this. It's like, oh crap! They're using horror fungus to power an army of steel ferrets. I knew it.
When you say it like that, it almost sounds ridiculous. But as they do that, the ferret, who has been more or less motionless to this point, begins to suddenly spring to action. They untie him, and he stands up. They then walk him from that table over to a nearby wooden box and lay him down and package it up.
Like the one we already saw.
Very much so. In fact, it looks like the same type of box and the same proportions. They then begin to haul the box outside, out towards the truck.
Is there anyone still behind in the factory when they go outside to do this?
Yes. One of the hooligans and one of the workers are taking a break next to one of the tables. The worker looks like he's trying to clean up a little bit, and the hooligan looks like he's just idling.
Man, we are so weak in the craft department. It's almost killing me. Because I'm just sitting here thinking, all right, this whole thing needs to get shut down. But I don't know how to sabotage a steel mill.
Break things.
Well, I don't want to start randomly breaking things because there's a lot of them here, and the last time I fought these guys, they were reasonably hardened criminals. So
Fair enough.
Right. Last time, you also had the benefit of explosive material around that you could spark and set on fire. Here, this is a steel mill. Things are meant to be on fire.
yeah, this is going to be largely bulletproof. Right. So, I mean, like, I'm good, but I'm not that good. Is there a foreman office or anything?
There likely is around the foundry.
Yeah, but they're not using it because everything's off the books or whatever?
That would be correct. It doesn't seem like anyone goes over towards the office area.
I got no choice. I gotta go follow the truck.
All right. So you go ahead and go back to the truck, watch them leave, and you get back on Black Beauty.
Yep.
So what skills you have to tail a truck?
Transport.
All right. So transport and probably evasion to not be seen. And maybe observation to keep track of them.
Excellent. And the good news, I picked a moped because it's quiet.
Right.
But once again, they're skilled drivers. They might also have local knowledge. Oh, but apparently they're drunk today.
Yeah, it seems like the drivers may have dried up a little bit here. I probably should actually go pull up the driver stats, but I'm going to roll with this.
Right. Well, they might also get another D12 for local knowledge, but still, I'm still kicking their butt.
Yeah, they're actually familiar with this route. That actually makes a good point.
Yeah. But apparently they're driving
they get stopped in traffic.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes at a time, waiting for carriages to cross the street before they resume, allowing you to very easily keep up with them.
Yeah, this is almost too easy, but don't get cocky. Where they take this statue thing?
Where they take this one is directly to Randall Tower.
Again?
Straight to the same basement again.
The hell? All right. Well, I'm going to park the bike. What floor did they get off last time?
Last time you ambushed them in the elevator and took it up, and when you did, they stopped on the 7th.
All right. Well, I'll park my bike and get
Oh.
in there.
Actually, yeah, no, you noticed last time they were going towards floor 14 with Patrick Walls.
Right,
That's
the
right.
floor.
That's
So,
why you remember the detail. Now I remember
yeah,
that.
the floor that actually, which is really the 13th floor. They just number it weird. All right, I'm going to park my bike and sneak into the building.
Okay, so what do you have to sneak into a building full of rich people?
Crap loads of evasion.
And I assume you're going to the 14th floor as well, correct?
Well, I'm going to sneak in, get in the elevator, and ride it up to the 12th floor, and then get off and see if I can get onto the 14th floor. Because if I'm not mistaken, regular elevators will not actually have a 14th floor button, will they? Or do they require a key? Or does this have elevator operators? It's 1920s.
There didn't seem to be an operator when you were there before, but that
Okay.
may have been a special request. Since
Well,
you're rich and you do at least know about Randall Towers, you know, of course they have elevator operator service.
yeah, but I'm going to sneak in the service entrance and take the service, take a different service elevator.
Okay, so you
Because they
can
probably have
definitely
a freight elevator and a service elevator. I don't know. They're a big hotel. They might have both.
right. So to the service area, I'm gonna have you roll speed and evasion. That obviously seems to be the way to go here.
Not as good. I might
Not
actually get
as
spotted by the hotel dick.
Let's see if you do actually. One of the what would be the proper word for someone working at a hotel?
That's why I said the hotel dick, the hotel detective.
Okay then, yeah. The local hotel detective then, will actually be wandering in the back, eating a sandwich, and as you enter into the back, where all the service is, he stops mid-bite of his sandwich and just sort of looks at you and takes a very slow gulp.
I'm just I'm just gonna have to say shh and pull his hat over his face and then run.
All right, so he is definitely going to try to chase you through the building, while shouting like,
Screw this,
"Stop, thief!"
screw this, I'll take the stairs. Good luck trying to keep up with me.
All right, so you're going to climb the stairs very rapidly and lose him. This sounds like body endurance and speed here, at the very
Yeah.
least. Probably also evasion. So
Yep.
we're wrapping a whole bunch of things into this.
I
He's got at
will
least two stats.
I will tap my fight or flight response. And tap coward.
He's got observation because he's a
And
detective.
I will roll like ass.
Well, the best he gets is a 4. He is well aware that you're going up the stairs, but he is huffing and panting as you leave him behind.
Do the stairs go all the way to the 14th floor?
Yes, they do.
Is the 14th floor door locked?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was worried about this. I'm going to have to bash it open.
Okay, so, bash it open. That
I've
would
got
be...
fighting and body, so...
Yeah, fighting body sounds good. Break it apart. It is a sturdy wooden door, but you go ahead, set up a kick and knock it off the hinge as you break in to a rather lavish looking apartment. It looks like you've actually broken into sort of a central activity area. Sort of if it were your home in a manor, it would be a ballroom, but here it looks more like it's actually been set up for some kind of forum. It has a small stage and a bunch of chairs facing it.
And a proper fire exit. Who knew?
I know, it's so modern.
I'll put the door back up. Is there anyone in here?
Uh, you definitely heard the sounds of someone noticing that the door just broke. But they aren't in this room.
All right. Well, I'll try to hide.
All right. So go ahead and roll me speed evasion as you try to find some place to hide around here.
All right. And I'm not in fight or flight mode anymore.
All right.
Oh, wait, I'm sure to die. There we go. I'm good at this.
Ooh, very good. All right, so let's see. So what's the order of things that'll happen? First off, you where exactly do you think you'll be hiding? I suppose you're
What's in the
probably
room?
hiding like behind one of the stages.
I guess so. Like if there's curtains or anything.
Okay. The first thing you'll notice is a handful of bodyguards are actually stepping out. People who have their guns up and are pointing them around the room rapidly, looking for a disturbance. Uh, Shortly after that, the Dick finally catches up, huffing and panting as he approaches the broken door, and the two people with guns actually immediately point over at him. He holds up his hand and goes, "Ah, ooh, someone, someone in black just ran up here. Do you see this? Did you see where they went?" And the three of them begin to converse. No, we haven't seen anyone. We just heard the door break.
I want to slip out of this room and look at some of the other rooms.
Okay.
If there
So
are any
you
other
are
rooms.
very
This is
well
the whole
hidden. If
floor,
you're going
right?
to change position, now would be the time to roll.
Yeah. Yeah, and okay.
All right. So the detective who's been on your case does not notice you as he begins talking with the two guards. You slip into another room, and this looks like a small preparation area for the stage. It actually has a large number of different props here, and also has uh I'm trying to think like what would be back here because I'm trying to come up with this on the
Well,
fly.
if it's a business presentation, there's probably like a blackboard back here. There might be a film projector. There would be some lecterns, possibly some tables.
There we go. All right. Yeah, there's actually a blackboard back here. A couple of signages which actually says Dr. Wonderful on them.
God! Ah!
Presenting to the fortunate and his new automated servants.
I knew it. Hate you, Mr. Wonderful. Who made you a doctor anyway? I know who made him a doctor. Stupid Tricoga University made him a freaking doctor. He likes to spell this honorary doctorate on a super criminal.
Oh, look at me. I'm just a student there.
In this room in particular, though, of course, you do notice 3 crates. Very much like the ones that you've seen before. One of them is actually partially broken.
They have a method of putting people in suits of armor, filling it with the weird orange liquid, and then turning them into automated servants, automaton slaves. This is horrible. I have to inform Dante at once.
Oh, one extra detail. You do see a small number of letters that are set out on the table along with some of the presentation, and they appear to be invitations done in very fancy stationery, indicating that the demonstration will take place this Friday.
Are these unmailed invitations?
These are unmailed invitations,
I'll
complete with
grab
letters and stamps on the side.
a bunch of them, and I'm gonna leave.
All right. So there are 3 people actively looking for you right now. You will have to roll speed and evasion to get out across them again.
Well, I want to leave. I'm gonna tap fight or flight response for this, if that's all right, and tap coward.
Absolutely. You can be perfectly afraid of encountering these people who are ready to shoot you. That 10 is probably going to outclass their 3d6, but I'm going to roll for giggles. Yeah. Uh, it looks like they are all about to spread out and search the various rooms here as you are coming out. giving you the opportunity to pass by all of their backs, straight across the room, and straight back down the stairs.
Yeah, it's also a question of successes. So yeah. Now tapping coward mean I wouldn't be able to engage them, but I'm out of here. So yeah. I'll go down a couple floors, get on the elevator, and get out of here. Oh wait, there's an operator. Yeah, what the hell?
Hello, ma'am. Oh, that's a very fancy costume.
Ground floor, please.
Of course, of course. So, you come around to the towers very often? Have a friend here? Costume party?
I'm not much for conversation, and neither is my friend Mr. Jackson. I say, giving you a $10 bill.
Yeah, he'll nod politely and go, "Oh, of course, no conversation."
And I
just,
hope you'll understand that neither myself nor Mr. Jackson were here.
Oh, of course not. No one will ever know.
That's just between you, me, and the IRS. Thank you kindly.
I would have you roll a negotiation, but I think it's funnier to just let it go.
No, that's like $150. So it's like, flip.
Yeah, you just paid his salary for like 2 weeks here.
Yeah, all you do is move a lever all day, dude. Here's $10. I wasn't here.
All right, you get to the ground floor, and he'll gladly point you in the direction that does not lead out through the front and away from eyes that might see you.
I've got to get to a payphone. I've got to call Dante.
You get to a payphone, and you call Dante. But wait, you only have $100 bills. You don't have quarters. No, I'm joking. Dante, you've spent your day observing. You're back at home, and you receive another phone call.
Dante, the original speaking.
Dante, I have lots of time to explain.
Good. I am not particularly busy right now.
It's terrible news. Mr. Wonderful is back in town, and he's found a way to harness the power of the evil fungus to turn people into automaton slaves.
Yes. Okay.
We have to stop him.
Of course. This will happen.
Have you discovered a way to stop the spread of the horrible fungus?
No, it seems to be happening on its own and without any course of action to cause it, as it is not spreading in the area that we have previously encountered, so...
Well, you are a skilled member of the entertainment industry. Have you ever worked with pyrotechnics before?
I have. I do not prefer it. There are others of my kind that prefer it more.
I think Mr. Wonderful has tipped our hands. We're going to have to burn down the forest.
I do not see this as a good course of action. A forest fire could easily spread to all of Willow Springs, and in due time, without oversight, could even spread to Tricoga. It is not that far away.
Blast!
We would not want to be responsible for the third great Tricoga fire.
Third time is too many. Well, we have to destroy it somehow. That's why I was thinking if we could do a controlled burn.
Yes, but how would we... You can't do a controlled burn willy-nilly.
That's why I asked if you knew anybody.
Oh, yes, stage magicians, but that's not who you would get for such a thing.
No, we need career arsonists.
No, arsonists are not good at controlling a fire, nor are they good at putting it out.
Just hide. Well, then who would we need?
Well, I was hoping that you were still in the process of purchasing the land, and then we could just bowl it all over.
Purchasing the land is going to prove exceedingly difficult. It's owned by the Tricoga Conservation Society, where they use it as an excuse to get donations. Because they don't actually perform any maintenance on the land, their operating costs are next to nothing. It's basically a cash cow for the university. I can't think of any compelling reason why they would sell it to me.
Do you not know anybody, a lawyer perhaps, legal loopholes or such?
We could attempt to do that, but their case looks cut and dry. They have complete providence of ownership. I've got all the details of the paperwork here. I mean, I really don't know what to tell you on that front. They legally have it, and it doesn't cost them anything to operate. The only thing I could think of to do would be to replace the dean of the university.
But you're suggesting that we put in some sort of figurehead that we could control?
Maybe. Aren't you a skilled hypnotist? Would it be possible for you to compel him to sell the land to us?
It pains me greatly to tell you this, Claudia. Magic is not real.
I didn't say magic, I said hypnotism.
Yes.
That's science.
No, that is a pseudoscience. It is right up there with psychotherapy. It is not real.
It's not real. Sigmund Freud would disagree with you. And his theories are rock solid.
Surely they will test the stand of time.
As solid as his jawbone.
And morphine.
Well, on that we have to do something. Mr. Wonderful's about to unleash these horrible automatons of crime upon the city.
Quick question. What is today's date? Not today's date. What day is today?
That's you, Griffin.
Today is Wednesday.
Okay, because he's...
So we have 2 days.
Sorry, I was too busy laughing at you guys.
Yeah. In 2 days, he's going to present these automatons for sale, possibly to the moneyed elite, crime bosses, and other terrible people who run rampant over the freedoms of the people.
What if you were just to sabotage the meeting?
Possibly. They're gonna have at least 3 of these automatons there, possibly 4 more. They're bullet resistant and powered by evil fungus.
Right, but I mean, if you just shut down the building for the day, then they'll have to reschedule, and we'll have plenty of time to do this thing.
Just told me to not set fire to things.
I mean,
Make up
like...
your mind.
No, I mean, like, open a sewer grate at the bottom of the building. The smell will travel up the entire building. They'll shut it down to figure out where smell is coming from.
Do I look like a chemist who knows how to make stink bombs?
No, I said... Buildings of this size in a city like this are often connected to the main sewer grid. There will be a way to exit into the sewer from the building. You just open that up. The natural scent of the city will rise.
That's a tall order. First of all, is this building on the waterfront?
No, it is in the center of the city.
Yeah, but even then, they're on the 14th floor. They're not going to notice a stink. No, I think what makes more sense is, now that I think about it, it's a fungus, which means it's made of chemicals. If we could find something that could break the chemicals down and ruin the presentation, they're shipping the models there early. If we could sabotage the models themselves and find something that chemically destroys the fungus or somehow neutralizes whatever chemical power that's using, that shouldn't be impossible. And we know smart people who have samples of the fungus who are at the university.
Glad that could help.
Dante, unless you can find some sort of chain, I mean, I can have a delivery person send you the copies of the materials that I have, but apparently this is cut and dried. I can have a lawyer review this, but everything looks pretty solid with Providence, that they bought it from people in your neighborhood. Unless you can exert some sort of influence over Agam Knight, I don't think we're going to be able to buy the land.
Very well. I shall see what I can do from my end here in Willow Springs.
All right, I'm going to have to. We're going to have to call an emergency meeting of the Tricoca Book Appreciation Society.
Is that what that group is called?
I think we're the East. The Eastwood Book Appreciation Society.
Really needs a simpler name. It does not really roll off the tongue, nor easy to remember.
But I appreciate books.
Has nothing to do with what
Yes.
we are about, is it not?
That's kind of on purpose.
Is it?
It really is.
I am part of a magician society. You know what it's about because it's in the name.
Yeah, but you just said magic wasn't real.
Right. That's part of the whole mystique. How do I do the tricks? You do not know. You
Right,
know that
well,
magic is not real. I perform feats that seem magic. Your suspension of disbelief is then broken down by the apparent appearance of magic.
I think it makes Emmett happy if we call it the Book Appreciation Society.
Where you
Anyway,
can feel in your hearts that Emmett, in fact, is happy.
well, I'm gonna have to round up Zach and James and tell them that we have to come up with a way to neutralize the power of this fungus. I mean, I know Zach is smart. James and Zach are pretty smart, so they might be able to come up with some sort of solution.
I still think it'd be easier to shut down the building.
That's something to think about, but I don't think like we'd have to use an explosive to blow up the sewer main or something like that. And I don't think that's going to shut down Mr. Wonderful.
It will prevent people from entering the building, if not evacuate.
I would have to look into this. Shutting down an entire hotel would be a serious act of sabotage.
Yes, but so would be an assault on the 14th floor.
No, that's why I'm thinking we just need to sabotage the suits. If we can find something that can chemically neutralize whatever the fungus is made out of, we just have to introduce that into the suits. I've seen how the suits can be loaded and unloaded.
No, I mean that you would then have to encounter the people escorting the suits themselves. There is a whole thing here. Whereas if you just have to sabotage the building, you're dealing with janitors at best.
Well, let's call it, that can be your plan. Sabotaging a building is craft, sneaking into a building is evasion, and I know which hammer I have.
Right, even a hammer could sabotage a building. It doesn't have to be craft. It could be force.
Dante, keep looking into something that can neutralize that fungus and keep it from spreading. I'll see what I can do.
Very well.
All right. I guess I have nothing better to do to hang up. And then what? It's like past midnight, isn't it?
It's getting pretty late. It's not too far past dusk. It's maybe like between 8 and 10.
Yeah. I'm going to sound so old when I say this. It's far too late in the evening to call James and Zach because it's, I am going to go home and I'm going to call them first thing tomorrow morning and tell them what I have, the horrible things that I've learned.
Okay, then. So let's check back in on James. James, I don't think you had a plan of action, did you?
Not really.
Okay, so I suppose it'd be fair to say James will probably return home and everyone will reconvene in the morning.
Hmm.
Okay, so in the morning, everyone will receive a call from Claudia, and we will end up meeting over at the Book Appreciation Society at the Eastwood Municipal Library. Zach, James, and Claudia are all invited.
Probably going to have to make some excuses to get out of morning classes.
Your first class in the morning is actually with Nicholas East. And he'll just give you like a polite nod and not do anything else.
Yeah, if you're familiar with college, you just don't show up.
Fair enough.
So everyone is now at the library where all the
Depends
cool
on the
kids
size
are.
of the class, but
All right. I will explain to you folks what I've seen. That basically they're putting someone in a helmet, somehow applying an electrical process, and then by filling it with some sort of, I'm guessing they must have used the brewery to distill something out of the fungus liquid itself. Possibly some sort of real energy source, and pour it into the suits. Which I never got a good look at the ferret guy, so I didn't actually see if he was alive, did I?
You never really got to confirm that, no. But he was
No.
moving around later on.
Well, after they poured the juice in, but he was tied down. Why would they tie him down to the table? It's so weird. Anyway, whatever they're doing, they're putting people in armored suits. They get angry because that one guy who broke out of the box charged me, even though I had a gun, right?
Yeah.
Right. So whoever they are, they're aggressive. Mr. Wonderful's behind it, and I know whatever he's behind is horrible stuff. So he's going to unveil this and probably sell this to people. And his stuff is always a scam. Like whatever he sells people, like those weird voodoo dolls that possess people or these weird acid guns, whatever he sells people always has some way of backfiring and murdering everybody. So if he succeeds in this plan, no good can come of it. We have to find a way to neutralize these suits. And that's why I'm thinking if there's some way to neutralize the fungus itself, that's probably our best bet.
Well, we already know that Professor East is doing research on it. Maybe he knows something.
I mean, some sort of fungicide should be able to do it. It's 1920s. We can just buy fungicide, from our local.
But that's
Sure, would you
actually-
like some fluorochlorocarbons? I'm sure they do nothing to the atmosphere.
Just the mercury will be fine.
Oh,
But
okay.
here's the
Little
thing,
arsenic here for
are
you
they
two.
actually normal plants?
Well, they're weird. According to Dante, the mere presence of them in the spores are causing people to have forgetfulness. Whatever they are, there's something otherworldly.
Meaning, are they going to respond to normal herbicides?
Well, that's why I brought you two in here. You two are experts in parapsychology and pure natural science.
I wouldn't call myself an expert. I dabble in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, and also James, you know all about this kind of stuff because you can separate the real stuff from the fakery, right?
Pretty much.
Well, I fear I may be pushing you outside of your comfort zones, but maybe Dr. East could tell us something about it. I mean, if we have to pour like strychnine and mercury into these guys, then so be it.
It's like, do I need to raid one of the chemistry labs?
Good.
That's a good question about how easy it is to get. But I would rather maybe we just need to talk to Dr. East and see what he's found. Because I think the fungus was even growing inside somebody's pocket, wasn't it?
You stored it in your pocket, and that was the extent of it.
Oh, I thought you
It
said
didn't,
it was like it didn't take root or anything like that.
No, it didn't. It just made a mess. That was about the extent of it.
No. Not sure if this is the best time to bring this up, but Zach will also mention, based on what he's been looking into in his personal time, there's definitely something odd going on with that fraternity that's involved with the conservation society. For whatever reason, Professor East seemed very wary of them.
The Zetas? Well, yeah, but when we went through the research, like I said, when we went through the research because you were there, that they donate to it, but that is a little weird that they would donate to a school program that doesn't really seem to help them. But what do you think that the Zetas are up to?
Well, we're getting into personal history here, but my brother was also investigating odd happenings in this city, and while he was on campus, they harried him a lot. Like more than just simple hazing to the outsider student.
Wow. An
So
evil.
I'm thinking they had a reason to want him not poking his nose into those issues. I
Well, they're-
can't be certain, but it's definitely a suspicion of mine.
We've had evidence that there are dark powers that command people to do horrible things. Okay, guys, I've just looked into this. This is horrible. Strychnine is a performance enhancer and recreational stimulant.
What?
You can just buy it. It's considered similar to coffee and shows up in H.G. Wells' Invisible Man.
Well, now we know.
So we can just buy it.
Hey, Griff.
Sup?
I think it would be a funny moment for hold on, I forgot the name for a second. For the Hernandez brothers to show up.
Would you
Given-
like the other
given
two to
what-
show up at the same
No,
time?
no, those can be held back. But what Raph just said, since you know who those two guys are.
Yes, indeed. As you guys are talking, two people walk into the library. Something that doesn't really happen as often as you seem to come by. They look like two sort of intimidating bears. They are very large. And what else do they have on them? Wearing rough outfits, they're very big. And they're walking in side by side. You know what, Dante, why don't you take over role-playing them just so you can have some fun?
Oh, but I didn't prepare personalities.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and lead with Jake here then. You three. Hey, you.
Shh, it's a library.
You're Fox. You're Claudia, aren't you? And you'd be James, and I don't know who you are.
Well, you presume to engage us in first names. I'm Ms. Greathouse, and who am I speaking?
Name's Jake Hernandez. I'm here to assist you, he says as he finger quotes.
You
You know Dante, right?
I know. It depends. Which Dante are you talking about?
The original.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
The Dante that was more than happy to make us an offer and send us to come help you out with whatever you need. He says as he cracks his knuckles. He can help out real good.
I don't know if we need that kind of help.
Told
I
us
need to-
told us
that-
you'd be here yesterday.
We were here yesterday.
Yesterday he told us, you want to get me angry? Is that what you're trying to do?
Oh, hold on, James. It's okay. You know, maybe they're just late. Maybe they just don't know what's going on here. But
You know, the hours of the Book Appreciation Society are posted here in Volta.
well, I haven't opened a book in about 10 years, so
They work the same.
but I could open a couple spines, I think. You know? Isn't that right, James?
And James just slowly cracks his neck.
How do you guys know Dante? Dante just knows magicians and small children who forget everything.
No, you haven't seen him play cards then.
Zek is questioning his life choices right now.
No, I have not.
Look, you need something done, we can do something for you. Dante said it won't be too hard. Whatever you got.
Well, Dante wants to know if you could sabotage a sewer man to make people abandon a hotel Friday, specifically the Roland Hotel.
How does that work? Sewer's been out of my apartment for like a month. They never touched it. No one's. I don't know. I guess I could take a wrench to it.
I think it's a terrible idea, but are you men procurers?
No, we're athletes.
So, would you happen to be using stimulants such as strychnine?
How'd you know that? You're
It
doing one of
enhances
Dante's tricks again, aren't you?
Well, I actually had a personal trainer for a while. Plus, also, I've dabbled in the ballet.
Wait, who's your personal trainer?
Who was my trainer? Who trained me in boxing? I hired somebody.
I
to
don't
train
think
me
we
in
actually had a name for it.
Sir
Yeah, but I did hire
Alfred
some.
Pennyworth.
Sir
Yeah,
Alfred.
oh, wait a second, I know him! Oh man,
Well-
I didn't know that.
He used to go by the name of Kid Gorgeous, and it was Kid Presentable. Finally, it was just Kid Bo.
That happens when you take a few too many to the face. Yeah, I got some.
All right, that's what we
Why?
need. Strychnine and sledgehammers. That'll solve all our problems.
I can handle the sledgehammer part for sure. So what you thinking, then?
Well, I need strychnine. I need you to get as much as you can.
All
So
right.
If you have multiple sources, you should hit them up so it doesn't look too suspicious, since at this time period, people know it's a poison.
Well, I only got so much cash in my pocket. You want to
Let's-
forward for some of this?
Here, well, I'll go ahead and front each of you. Like, I'll front each of you. What do poor people think is a lot of money? Here's $50 for each of you.
They both give a low whistle.
If Dante recommended you, then you must know what you're talking about.
Well, all right, lady. We'll go get a whole bunch. Where you want it?
Just bring it back to me. I guess we'll meet here again tomorrow.
All right.
Now, if you excuse me, I've got to mix this gold leaf in with this India ink. So I can write my friends' names on these invitations. So when you present them when we show up on Friday night, it'll look legit.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty clever. Nice. Now I know what your plan is.
Yeah.
But Jake and James will go ahead and acquire some strychnine for you. So that's what their job is going to be.
All right,
I'm
so-
looking up strychnine.
Right. So we might want to bring, James, you might want to bring your camera for this. But like I said, this is going to be some sort of weird science thing. I think we need to sabotage it and also take pictures of it. And if Mr. Wonderful's there, we need to punch him in the face repeatedly. I have to emphasize, he's not to be underestimated. He and his fellows have exhibited strange abilities. Like, didn't you encounter them when you went to the brewery works, Zach? Or James?
Zach encountered a couple of his thugs briefly. He did not engage, though.
Right. You can see that they're definitely dangerous people.
Oh, I can handle myself in a scrap well enough.
But there's at least a dozen people working for Mr. Wonderful. A majority of them may be present that evening.
Well, that's fair. I'll try to avoid causing a confrontation if I can.
Well, that's good. In fact, I wouldn't want to ask you to get involved in my personal struggle, because it might, at the risk of your life and limb. You've got many years ahead of you and a bright future. I wouldn't want you to risk that.
If what you say about Mr. Wonderful is true, it wouldn't surprise me if he had a hand in what happened to my brother either.
I never joke when it comes to Mr. Wonderful.
Either way, it's obvious we can't just allow him to get away with this.
No. All right. And what about you, James?
I'm in.
All right. Then let's go ahead and gird ourselves up and get ready to poison people in suits and break sewer mains.
Yeah, something like that.
All right then. So we're sitting on Thursday morning at the moment. What is everyone going to do? Strychnine will arrive eventually.
I'm going to reserve a hotel room at the sorry, is the Roland Tower a business or it's a hotel, right?
The Randall Tower is a set of apartments
Okay.
for the rich. You could buy a whole floor for yourself.
I don't need to do that. I just wanted to buy or rent an office under an assumed name. I want it to be under the Great House name that's going to look suspicious.
Right. Well, you could probably get an office next door and jump from building to building.
Are there any vacancies in the tower?
In Randall Tower, yes, for purchasing apartments, but But for an office, you would have to go for another building.
I just want to get a room there. So whatever I can rent, I want to go ahead and rent it.
I feel like I'm not getting it through though. It's like it's not for single night rentals. Randall Tower does not engage in that business.
If I have to, I'll lease it for 30 days.
She's rich.
Okay.
I'm rich.
She can put it for a year and just use it for one day.
There you go then. So for that, you'll need to tap wealth then.
I'll tap wealth, but I want to do it. I would rather lease it for a month under an assumed name than for a year under my name.
All right. The 12th floor, the 9th floor, the 1st, and the 4th are currently available for lease.
I just picked a small place on the 12th floor. That way we can be in the building and have a base of operations and smuggle our stuff in.
That's right. And you would be literally one floor below.
Right, since there's no 13th floor.
All right. This is actually a very big note that I'm going to make right now just so that I know. Claudia has purchased the 12th floor of the Randall Tower for a month.
The holding company name I'll use is Pyramid Deliveries, so you can easily remember.
Okay. So you go about handling that for the day then. What about James and Zechariah?
I can't really think of anything Zach would be taking with him. It's like he isn't really one to use a gun, and he already has a knife personal protection. So
And James is no weapon user.
So yeah, I can't really think of anything that Zach would go and purchase.
Yeah, I'm expecting James to bring his camera.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But Zach, you don't actually have any like mystical preparations or anything that you do you?
No, it's PK's all personal power.
Although you are literally the one person who could go from one tower to the other.
Yeah, like I could fly between the towers if I needed to.
Yeah, you could Dark Knight the bank robbery scene. This
Yeah.
thing.
It's like I have wings and I have levitation.
Oh, right, wings. I almost forgot about that part.
Yeah, it's like Zach is a bat. He has wings. He can fly.
All right. So
Right,
is there
but
anything
also
you want to prepare or do?
This is also a windy city and in between buildings, so expect heavy crosswinds.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it won't come to that.
You did say that you also maybe wanted to talk to East again. Is that something you want to do, or do you want to just
I mean, we've already
something else?
that was it was mainly just to see if he had any idea as to like how they could break down that chemical substance, but it seems like we already have a plan as to what we're doing with that anyway. So
Okay, so you won't
Yeah.
bother him.
yeah, so no, I wouldn't bother him, seeing as we already seem to have a fairly well established plan in place already.
All right. So Claudia goes ahead and now has access to the 12th floor. On top of that, the Strychnine will come in today. The two brothers will go ahead and return and deliver it to Claudia. Well, we found turns out, $100 of Strychnine. He pats like a large milk crate. Can get you a lot.
I hope you at least went to diverse sources. It looks suspicious if you go into one place and just buy it all there.
Well, I got a friend. I can trust him.
So if anyone asks, it fell off a truck. Because, well, it did.
Hey, don't you go giving away Marty's sources like that.
I'm going to cover up any markings that are on the box and deliver it myself to my own office.
All right. simple enough. You can go ahead and be.
I'll put on my worker outfit and deliver it in disguise.
As you have access, and this is a rich person's tower, nobody will question you if you are wearing the right outfit and you are delivering things. So you managed to get it up to the 12th floor unmolested. All right. So we have a bunch of strychnine. We have the 12th floor. James has a camera, and you still have a day and a half to wait.
Well, I gotta start pouring the strychnine out of its tiny individual bottles and into like large I guess not turkey based. Well, turkey basters would be ideal. Either turkey basters or what do you call those things that you use to put frosting on cakes?
With the rolling ones?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what they're called, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I gotta prepare because that's the plan is to put these because I saw how they opened the suit. It has a backpack that I didn't see the first time with a valve on it. So
And you do have
frosting
two people to
piping
help you
bag.
specifically with labor.
It's a frosting piping bag.
thank you, piping. That's what I was thinking.
Oops.
But yeah, so you do have two people to help you with labor if you want to call them in for that. Since they did bring you in the first place, it's not like they're less aware of it.
Well, nothing happens until Friday, so
Exactly. So I mean, you're all just taking your time.
well, crud. I'm guessing the 14th floor is under like 24-hour surveillance, right?
You could go investigate that.
I will grab a box and go to the 14th floor.
All right, you grab a box and you will check out what's going down. On the 14th floor, it looks like there's a little bit of construction going on. Someone is replacing a door that someone knocked down before.
Well, that was the emergency stairwell, so
Yeah. So over at the emergency stairwell, there's a hallway that kind of goes around the floor, but doesn't go
Okay.
into the livable spaces.
well, unless anyone stops it, I'm gonna walk in like I'm supposed to make a delivery.
There is somebody else at the door, by the way. I keep trying to think to describe things, and then I just don't do it fast enough. So my
I know.
bad.
I'm pretty impressed.
There is now somebody who is actually sitting at this door and at the other one, both of which look like the bodyguards from yesterday.
Okay. I say I'm here to deliver a box of shims.
Box of shims?
Yeah.
And he kind of like shrugs a little bit and will stand up to take the box. You got a sign somewhere?
You don't need a sign for shims. Are you guys new at this?
Hey, don't you tell me how to do my job. And he'll swipe
I won't
the
tell you to
entire
do
crate.
yours.
He will swipe the crate from you.
All right, I'm gonna leave and try to come back at 3 a.m.
Okay, so you leave and you come back at 3 a.m. By this point, the door has been fully renovated. And there is just one person now who is actually patrolling the hallway instead of just standing by one of the doors.
Yeah, this crap. I'm gonna have to wait until they actually open the doors and sneak in later. I don't have any craft or sabotage.
That's really unfortunate.
It's the one part of my Batman skill base I'm completely missing.
You might honestly just have to grab it as a skill at this point.
I've already resigned myself that I have to grab it as a skill.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Nobody in the we're all a bunch of nerds, and none of us are great. Except if I had the PK guy with me, he could just pick the lock.
I could try at least.
That's a good question. Do you want to get Sakurai involved on your 3 a.m. escapade?
Zachariah, do you want to do some breaking and entering?
It's like I can try. You can like wake him up in the middle of the night and probably be like, "What? What's it? Breaking and entering? Okay, whatever." It's like screw it. I'm already in. It's like I'm already over the deep end at this point.
Well, Also, if you want to come and take pictures of all this, you're welcome to witness our crime.
Uh,
I like that long pause. Or you could wait until Friday when you can use your invitation. By the way, I invited all of you to the event.
Speaking of, did you actually try to forge anything, or
Yeah,
did you just write your name on it?
It's not that. Yeah, I don't have to forge it. I have the invitations. I just write like Dante the original and have this delivered and have this sent by bonded courier to Dante.
Yeah, there you go.
I just write all your names on it. Doesn't even have to be your real name. They can check IDs, but I write your names on there anyway.
All right then.
Yeah, but no, I want to see if I can break in Thursday night because I know some of these were delivered in advance.
Okay, so you want to try breaking in. So when you get up to this floor and you want to break in,
So who's down with this? It's me, Zach. Is anyone else coming down? Can I get any of the Hernandezes in on this?
the Hernandez look between each other and go, well, I mean, if you wanted us to just bash a door down, maybe,
No, I'd rather
burglary.
I'd rather open it quietly. The problem is if we bash it down, we leave evidence that we're here. We need to get in and get out.
You should
Yeah,
probably,
we ain't exactly quiet people.
There are two others that are pretty quiet though.
Yeah, the Klutzes.
The Klutzes.
Hey, I don't name them. They got a thing going. I think they could maybe get you in even.
All right. Well,
they don't have craft though. Ah, dang.
And
They are stealthy though.
Yes,
no,
they are.
but
You
the other
need someone who is
problem-
both stealthy and crafty. You need an actual burglar.
Yeah, Dante is actually reasonably good at that. The problem is we need people to forget that we were there. So that's the problem. We need to get in without getting spotted, poison the guys, and then get back out. And the problem is they have the place under surveillance. It really sounds to me like we should just wait until Friday when we can just walk in as part of the event. And that way it won't look as suspicious. I don't have any craft, but I don't care if I mess up my own office and violate the deposit. I'm going to go ahead and saw a hole in the ceiling.
All right. So you're going to try to carve your way up into the 14th floor.
It's like,
Well, no.
Is Zach still part of this?
What I want to do is I want to smuggle the strychnine into the in there when we appear tomorrow. So to do that, I don't want to like show up with big bags of strychnine when I go into the front door. What might make more sense would be to cut through the ceiling in my office, put them underneath the floor, and that way when we get in tomorrow, I can, pry up the floorboards and from there.
Right.
Oh yeah, figure out where the bathroom is on their floor, put it under the bathroom that way. So that way you can walk into the bathroom, break into the bathroom floor, and pull it up. That way people don't see you doing it.
So then I do, I guess, have a couple of questions. One, when are you doing this? Middle of the night?
I have no choice. It's Thursday.
Okay. So middle of the night, you are going to attempt to...
I would prefer to do it during the day, during normal working hours on Thursday. So if anyone comes by to ask what I'm doing, I'm renovating the office.
Okay. So there you go. So we don't have to worry about being quiet anymore. But I'll ask, what skills do you have in sawing holes into ceilings and sneaking up under the floorboards?
I believe those two skills would be craft and deceit.
All right. So do you have either of those?
Nope. Not at all. I mean, I don't have either of those.
So, I guess we're going to probably roll body, as this is a physical activity of labor. And that's all you get if you're just gonna do it purely alone.
body. Well, unless someone wants to help me, do any of you guys have crafter deceit?
I mean, this is what the Hernandezes would be good for.
It's like I don't. It's like I have like a D8 mind.
I'll get the Hernandezes to help me. That way they can also carry the heavy stuff.
Hey, all right. Well, we can work together on this. I think we got this. And by that, I mean they expose they have team player.
Oh, you guys are team players.
That is correct. So
Both
I'm gonna
of
roll.
you are team players? Holy crap! Both of you can assist me.
Yeah, the Hernandez,
Exactly.
the brothers.
So let's see. Neither of them have deceit, and neither of them have craft. However, they are big boys. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll 2d8 for them.
Giants with athletics and endurance.
One of them will go ahead and be able to assist you, so you can get a d12.
That's 2 successes.
In wild slapstick hilarity, you do manage to break into the 13th floor maintenance level, which is a half floor, and is hardly 5 feet in length, in height. And then break up into the 14th floor, and I do have a second part of this whole question, which is, how do you know where you're coming up, and are you... I guess you're just putting it under the floorboards.
Yeah, we're just putting it under the floorboards and then gonna loosen the floorboards so we can pry them up later. But I thought about doing this in the bathroom, but then I thought, the 14th floor, the bathroom is probably in the hallway, not in the presentation. So you'd have to leave the presentation area, go to the bathroom, and then come back into the presentation area, which would defeat the point.
Right. I'm going to say you do have a choice of either A, that presentation area, or B, somewhere randomly within the apartment above you.
Well, I'd rather, because I'm planning on sneaking backstage, because I saw where that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have a physical idea. So underneath backstage.
Yeah. And then we're underneath it so we can remove the nails in the floorboards.
Yeah, because I mean, assumedly, since you went from, you know where the elevator is, right? On that floor, and the presentation room is, you can count the steps from the elevator to the presentation room, get off on the floor that you're in, count those same exact steps, take the room that's right there under it, and you know where everything's laid out from there.
Right, and since I rented the floor space, they gave me a map of my floor.
Exactly. Okay, so because you've been there, you have the maps, and you've successfully done enough sabotage to get yourself up into underneath the floorboards of backstage. Do you want to open up fully and peek in, or just leave it there?
I do have crap loads of evasion, but you know what? I'm determined. I'm not overconfident or anything like that. I'm just gonna leave it here and just assume everything's for the best.
Okay. So this sounds like, I think, probably a good point to go ahead and end this so that I can prepare for the shenanigans that'll happen
Friday
next.
is going to be a cluster.
It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful cluster. So let's go ahead and start doing a little bit of wrap up, unless someone wants to add a bit of something extra. Actually, no, I'll save that for next time. Okay. So let's go ahead and go through names and mottos. Dante.
Is my name.
And what's your motto?
Sorry, I had to scroll up. I always have a plan.
There you go. You planned ahead and actually got your friends some help. Claudia.
Justice tempered by mercy. I cannot stand idly by and allow Mr. Wonderful to build an army of autonomous slaves.
Indeed. Nor did you go ahead and go in guns blazing to various areas.
No, I'm not happy with this plan of pouring poison into armored suits, but it's the only thing I can think of.
Right. James.
There's gotta be a logical explanation.
And you did seek out a logical explanation.
Yes, but I don't feel like I got it. Okay, I figured out the why. I just haven't figured out the why, the who and.
Right. Well, you did help with the. I did ask. Let's investigate and see what we can find out about this fungus and about this territory. So we did find a whole bunch of real. And to be honest, we found the most logical thing ever. I mean, it was like, oh, so they buy the land and just use it to suck money out of donators. This is the most logical and sensible plan I have ever seen.
And Zechariah.
I won't let the people I love get hurt. Never again.
And you've been following up on your Path of Vengeance too. So, all right. So, looks good all over the board here. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of debrief. Everyone go ahead and take your 2 experience now. And I'm feeling pretty good about how this went today. I think we slowly are getting a handle on the mystery, and I got you guys where I wanted you to be, at least. What do you guys think?
I think so. Yeah.
How you feeling? What went good? What went bad?
I like how my athletes
Well,
seem to work out.
Well, with that glass factory thing, I felt like I was missing something. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was.
I would probably say, as my own commentary, you didn't really talk to anyone, which was your strength.
Sorry, I didn't know there was much to talk to. So everyone was so.
I mean, you could always interrogate people about like what happened or what they saw.
Okay. I thought I would get all that by investigating.
I know, that's understandable. Let's see. What about you, Rafferty? What are your thoughts?
I do like how things make us a reasonable amount of sense. Is what I enjoy about the game, that we can figure stuff out.
Yeah, I had a giggle when you like described like exactly what was happening with ferret automatons, but I'm glad it'll at least like make sense and seems probable instead of just being like ridiculous, ununderstandable villainy or something.
No, and like they have a crime organization, they have money, they have resources. I have a healthy respect for them. So it for me, it's feeling like it's in that good area of known unknowns, and I like the fact that it's a real world that we can, because that's been on my mind lately a lot, where there are NPCs and we can react with them, and some of them know things and some of them don't, and some people have incomplete information, and some people are actually bad actors. A lot of times I've been seeing a lot of games where NPCs are either mindlessly evil or they're just either they're plot devices or they're an obstacle to be overcome. And I enjoy a game where, we're actually interacting with people. And I feel there's been a good degree of that.
I do very much love having people with like actual motives that are go beyond just I want to be evil. So I try to be like very careful with that with the people I've crafted, and also with the people I try to like improv to.
I'm glad that I remembered about the barrels of orange fluid behind the factory, because my other plan, which probably wouldn't have ended well, was to have Zach go for a poltergeist to start pulling items off of Dr. West's shelf to prove that these things actually existed.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to intercept you on that because I'm having fun with him being like at one hand skeptical and on the other hand like absolutely obsessed.
Yeah. I'm like, oh wait, no, I don't have to do that because I've actually seen this stuff.
But of course, as soon as you reveal your powers to someone who is interested into them, I wonder how much the college is going to want to experiment on you.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons he's trying to keep it under wraps if he can.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Even though you like showcased it immediately to everyone else.
Well,
but yeah, I'm liking it.
Yeah,
You got some good intrigue going on, and I want to get into it. I think like one thought in the back of my head is that no one's really asked like, wait a second, how did Jessica Osborne escape from the factory if she went downstairs and was underneath all the rubble?
Well, it's like Zach wasn't involved in that, so he wouldn't know.
She's got supernatural powers. She was throwing furniture at me.
Incredibly true. So there's an explanation in there. I'm just like finding it funny no one was asking aloud.
I mean, I'm kind of in the category. Also, Dante already took me to a place where there was a basement wonderland filled with children, or underground wonderland filled with children. So it was already like,
Well, the very first episode, we were in an upside-down library underground, so
yeah,
we experienced these weird things before the questionable circumstances even started happening.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm kind of in the practical side. Really, I already know Osborn is evil. I mean, I have evidence of that. I want to stop them, and
Mhm.
so I'm bringing acid guns and bottles of poison.
Turns out it's all his plan to get you caught with everything, to make
Yeah,
you
this is
look
gonna
evil.
This is gonna be very interesting, I think.
Oh yeah.
Also, maybe a little in depth. I'm definitely gonna make a map for it, just so we can keep track of it.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Let's see. And on top of that, I believe Hugo should be here next time. I don't think it's possible to get him involved in the explosive action in the tower necessarily.
Yeah, Ken, we just invite him. I got plenty of invitations.
Oh,
Cody should be back next week too, hopefully. So if we can
Oh,
figure
yeah,
out
that'll
a way
be
to
good.
get, if we can figure out a way to get Ed, well, I'm sure Edmund will want to be involved in this
he'll want to
scandal
get a
going
scoop on it.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely gonna want to get a scoop on what's going on in this tower.
Yeah, no, you guys need to be in the crowd and asking questions while I sneak backstage and destroy the automatons.
Hey,
Zach
could
needs
I
to
ask a
be-
question? Look over here, not over there. I got a question.
It's like Zach can be sneakily putting PK shields on people to protect them.
Well, that's going to be necessary because Mr.
Yeah.
Wonderful and Miss
Yeah.
Osborne are nasty people.
Well, Miss
Yeah.
Osborne is. Mr. Wonderful didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like we know.
Yeah,
we
you
know
haven't
that,
seen
we know
him
that
do anything yet, I
Osborne
don't
has
think.
some. We know that Osborne has some PK abilities, so Zach can put up some countermeasures.
yeah, that's what I'm. And also,
Yeah.
they have hired muscle, which is not to be underestimated.
No, not
Possibly
at all.
still an ogre, or a troll, or whatever the hell that thing was.
Still on the lookout for Zamek.
Mm.
Who was driving away at high speed from something, even though I didn't tell you guys that.
Yeah, that's the fun part. I'm gonna figure out how to fit that back in.
Like, somewhere in the middle of the night, oh god, it's still after me! Jumps in the car, drives off.
You joke. You joke.
I mean, I don't joke, but at the same time, he's been gone for days. I think if the troll was chasing him down through streets, that'd be on the news or something.
Yeah, probably.
In at least one of these newspaper articles you keep hitting us with.
Yeah.
Like something in the tabloids about a cryptoid creature.
Large man chases truck through streets 4 days straight.
Yeah.
All right then. So, if we have any other closing comments, let's go ahead and take them now. Otherwise, I think this has been a good session, everybody.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Looking
So,
forward
yeah,
to
I think
this.
so.
Had fun.
Yeah.
all right. So once again, I'm Griffin. This has been Urban Jungle, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye bye.